I want to elevate sprints in East Africa. And before I was who I am, there was a bit of downgrading, I must say, in East African athletes in terms of sprints, because most countries really did not give so much emphasis on sprints because the world knew that Kenya, East Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, and all these other countries from this part of the world are mostly long distance athletes. But we changed that. And one thing I came to understand is everything is in our heads. Once you put your head into something, you'll achieve it. And that's what I came and changed. And now there's so many people who want to do 100 meters. In Kenya, we have over 27 hits in one single meet. I don't know about Uganda. I'm hoping that is the same here because that's now what we want to tap into. And Mahesh has mentioned we've met a couple of times where we started and we're here. I don't want to repeat that. But the aim for the Omanyala Night of Sprints is to give the athletes an opportunity, but just not an opportunity, but also a platform for them to nurture their talents. Because sometimes you see a talented sprinter, but then what happens after that? Because most of these people don't get the guidance they need. They don't get the expertise they require for them to get to the levels that we've gotten into. So I don't want 10 years from now, people start saying that there was a sprinter. I want the next Olympics to have as many sprinters from East Africa as possible. Because there's so much talent, and that's no brainer. There's so much talent from this region. And we need to tame these athletes, for lack of a better word, because we find most of our coaches understand. I know they understand the journey of the athletes, but some of them try so hard to make these athletes perform to perform better, but very early. There's that aspect of maintenance, and most coaches really don't understand that because a coach might be excited, and of course the athlete is excited because he's too young, recovers too quick, and performs very good. But for how long? You're giving an 18-year-old workouts over a 26 or 28-year-old because you want performance. But then at the end of it all, after 2, 3 years, the kid is nowhere to be seen. So that now comes down to our coaches. We need to understand how to manage these athletes in terms of training, in terms of performance, and even in terms of you guys of the media. You give so much pressure to the athletes. You find an under 18 is being given too much pressure to perform at high levels. And of course he will. But then that comes down to how many years will he be able to perform at that level. Because we kill our athletes. We kill our athletes ourselves because we give them too much pressure. And some of them really don't know how to handle that. So you find they diminish so quick. So if we can just learn to manage these athletes in all aspects, from the media aspect, coaching aspect, management aspect, you find some managers want the money. They over-race these athletes. You find an athlete doing so many races, it doesn't break up in their season, so he just races continuously. So I think that's something that we need to really check. And I'm sure it's being taught in class. I've seen some of the courses, sorry, I've seen some of the coaches' courses that have that. The posts, like I said, we need our athletes to go to school. And I tell this to the younger generation that it doesn't matter how much money you're making, because people love you right now because of your running. After you've retired, what will people love you for if you don't have the papers? You see, athletics give us the opportunity to get that platform. You can walk into any office, but then can you walk into any office and talk to the managers or the CEO that you can do something apart from running? So I encourage our athletes. Let's get to class. Let's find something else to do because at least with that it helps you. And in my years in athletics, I've noticed that once you do something apart from athletics, you find athletics become too easy because you're not thinking, you're not eating, you're not sleeping athletics the whole day. At least you have something else you're doing. And that helps you prepare for retirement because, like right now, I'm preparing for my retirement with the foundation and with the other things that I'm doing. I might retire 10 years later, but I've started now so that I don't get a surprise when my career comes to an end. So I think we need to also understand that.
I understand he's the fastest man in Africa at the moment, but I think I can be faster than him, or even with some days given, even General Mos can be faster than him. That one I can assure you. So, sir, welcome to Uganda.
Thank you.
Kenya and Uganda, we are close, we are brothers, and very, very good brothers. I want to thank the Member of Parliament, the Youth MP from Eastern, who's coordinating this and Uganda Athletic Federation for this initiative. On behalf of government of Uganda, the current government, and on behalf of the next government, which I believe will come when Mzee retires, one day, we welcome you to Uganda, feel at home.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Feel at home, feel at home. All athletes, wherever you are, I wish you very well. And the government is putting in a lot of money and efforts at the moment. We have done a high altitude track in Sebei, one of the best in the continent. Even Kenya don't have it. Even Kenya, they don't have it. Not at all, they don't have it. So even Nambola has been renovated. First phase is done. Second phase is next. Even Kenya, they are yet to reach the level of Nambola at the moment. Not at all. Kenyans, they are good on social media. They are good, maybe they can run fast sprints. But why you win? Let me tell you, Ferdinand, why you keep winning? Because some of us who can run faster, we are busy with other things. Because Ferdinand, I don't think you are faster than Mohoz. General Mos Kenerugawa, on your marks, the guy will leave you.
For people who have been here for long know that the first gold medal Uganda won was in a sprint event. It was in 1972 Munich Olympic Games, where the late John Akibwa won a gold medal and set a world record at that time in 400 meters hurdles. And those were also the days when we regularly used to send our athletes to Olympic Games, Africa Games, in the sprint events. We regularly used to have relay teams, but that changed along the way. We are only trying to revive it now. It is long when we presented, for example, a relay team at Africa level 2019 All Africa Games. And at the world, it is, I don't even remember whether we have ever presented of recent. So now we are energized by the coming of Ferdinand to ensure that we encourage our athletes to qualify first for the World Relays in Guangzhou, which will happen soon, in May actually. And the qualification period actually is ending on the 13th of April. And so we intend to provide our athletes opportunity to qualify for that event, for starters, and then fine-tune them also for Tokyo 2025 when we go for the World Athletics Championships. Of recent, it's true, Uganda, like Kenya, has excelled in middle and long distance. But we have also taken a decision to promote other event areas, including the sprint events. This is why we are so excited about Ferdinand being here, because he has come to inspire our young sprinters. I know Muhereza is one of them. There is also a young man from Tororo called Adilu Francis, right there in yellow, who is still raw but coming up. He has only competed in the Eastern region. I know last year he was in Zanzibar and came back with some 2 medals. So he's a young athlete that needs inspiration. So Ferdinand, we have already engaged government through National Council of Sport and forwarded our budget estimates for the 2025-2026 financial year, indicating even the unfunded priorities. So we leave it to National Council of Sport to go through the processes of government, and we are very optimistic that this time round, what is due to Uganda Athletics Federation will come to us. For as a federation, whatever we receive, our focus is the athlete. We pay a lot of attention to the athlete. We value the athlete. We take the athlete as number one. This is one of the reasons why our athletes are excelling compared to those for other sports, because we value our athletes so much. So we know that as a federation alone would not be able to do it. But also I agree with our special guest, Omanyala, that athletes need to have a dual career. Athletes need to keep at school. They need to study, even as they do this sport. I'm so much impressed. I had not sat in any press conference with Ferdinand Omanyala. I'm impressed about his speech, and that really shows that sport is for intellectual people. Some people mistake sport. They think it's for those who have failed to study. And I want to tell Uganda that some of us went up to university, up to the papers we have, but we were also athletes during that time. So when you're at school, you are able to manifest your sporting talent. And when you keep there, the schools will also support you. So it is supportive. So the athletes need to take studies seriously, other than now focusing on your talent and you think it's all done. Thank you.